Hello, everyone. Thanks all for tuning in. Where am I? There we go. Hello, everyone. There we go. Sounds good. Cool. Say hello when you come into the chat. Give me a second, everyone, for you joining us right away. We're going to let some people hop in here and then we'll get going. Good. There we go. And let me move this over here. So I put the title. Oh, nice surprise. Hello, Bunny. I put the title as Belief in Knowing. And this is going to become critical for you in your works. Okay? The difference between belief and knowing is going to become a critical part of your enlightenment, your ascension. First, let's make sure we understand something. You're creating your own reality with your perceptions. Your emotions translate into that reality, giving you experience. Or your beliefs translate, and then the emotions is the experience. My pardons. So what I've discovered, when a knowing is set into place, there's no frequency shift that pushes you off of your center or yourself, so to speak. The knowing is solid. It's like, for me, a knowing is my existence. There's no doubt in my existence anymore. I don't have a belief that I exist anymore. I don't value a belief because a belief has sway, right? Someone asked me, do you believe in the Christ conscience? And I said, no, I don't believe in him. I know him. And of course, because they didn't understand that you can know something as opposed to believe it. And why is this critical? Because it represents you. It represents your energy. It represents your emittance of your vibrational isness that's occurring all the time, right? Your bubble around you, driving through your will, your truth. Through your will, singing to all that is your truth. A belief has absent in it, absenteeism, absence, lack of self, doubt. It's hollow, it's movable. See, when someone defends a belief, then they don't know it. If you're defending yourself, there's something in you you don't know yet. I still defend myself. I'm still working on these unknown beliefs that find their way up to the surface as I'm journeying. And I grab them and embrace them and do my work, the work that's laid out in this channel, the work we've been doing for years. Ascension, transcendence, recognition, observers, everything we've been doing. And I realized that you got to have a grip on your knowing. Whatever you believe, you got to turn it into a knowing. What is a knowing? A knowing is a part of you that is integrated as a constant truth of you, the isness of you. See, we're changing our truth, but not changing it to an opposition. See, humans think in polarity. Remember that. Don't forget how this planet thinks, this whole species thinks. They think in the measured scale of right and wrong, good and bad, and everything in between. So they always have a counterance for something. Believe in, not believe in. If you don't believe in that, what do you believe in that? Okay? So pay attention. Your knowing doesn't have a counterance to it. Your belief does. How do you know? Well, you have an emotional reaction. It's not the details you're going back at. That's children. It's you understand. Why is it pausing? It's you understanding your truth. You're in your world, your universe, your bubble, and that's it. You got to know that. I mean, really know it's all about you. It's only for you, and you're the only one home. And all of these other humans, Entities, creatures are consciousness. You, from a different perspective. Doesn't mean you externalize it. Doesn't mean you give homage to it or gratitude to it or all that stuff that humans do and make things in a landscape of this or that or give and take. No. Stop. Remember, you're the creator, right? If you're the only one is all, one is all, one is all, one is all, one was all is one is all is one. If you're the creator in your universe, the hell are you doing out there? Get home. So these beliefs that come up, the work that we do are recognizing our sway, our value of our dependency, the energy that we put in to one side as opposed to the other. See, when we're in isness, where I am, and everything we speak is a truth, a vibrate is a truth. It doesn't oppose itself. It doesn't go into the world of separation. And then when you go into the world of separation, you have two sides, right? You have God's self and not God's self. You have left and right and good and bad and the whole world. And it's being represented right now in America. Right now, it's being represented. They're opposing sides. Wonderful. You can play in that childish game. That's recess. That's recess, and those are children on the playground. You're distracted, you're energized. That's your what? That's your truth. Is that a knowing or is that a belief? That you have to pay attention to that. Is that a knowing or is that a belief? That's what you got to look at. Something, anything that says, how do I feel about this? And if I can recognize it as two-sided, as I can recognize it as emotional, then I believe in something instead of know it. Because a belief that turns into knowing might not even be present. It's a knowing of experience, but it's not a knowing of fortitude. Which that means it doesn't vibrate in your isness at all times. The persona of you, the truth of you, the way you behave, not second guessing yourself, the way you act every single minute with the truth of you expressed. These thoughts up here are reflections. They're potential, they're reflections, they're algorithms of the entity that created the fractal, and that fractal has truths and energy all around it that say this. Are you still playing there's negative out there? Are you still playing there's positive out there? Are you still looking at the world? Then you're believing in something. That's what you got to look at. When you know it, it doesn't move you. It doesn't move you one way or the other. Emotionally, it feels good to be on one side, to argue for conspiracy theories, to get mad at the blue whale swallowing 10,000 particles of plastic every day. Anti-am, and that's attention. And that's attention. Are you paying attention? That's attention. That's vibration. I'm choosing to see that reality. My truth is to look at that. I believe that's wrong. Why do you know it's a belief? Because you're emotional about it. Because you have a point of view about it. You have a countenance to it. So you're swayed about it. And you're moving. And you're arguing with yourself. God doesn't see anything in reality as absolutely perfection, unconditional love. There is no failure in this reality. Or any reality, save the perception you create. And that perception, if it creates a polarity, it's a belief. And you got to do the work. Do the work. These people they were asking me questions. Hi, sweetie. Love you too, darling. You're welcome. These people asking me questions, what do you believe in? I said, I don't believe in anything. I know the truth behind it. And see, when they ask, how do you know? And what is that? When they ask you, how do you know? How do you know it's just not this? How do you know you're really channeling? It's not your subconscious. Well, that's your diarrhea. See, my truth doesn't have doubt. Myself doesn't portray those things. And externalism questions you. And that questioning is a reaction to you. Then you're challenging yourself with attraction because it's there. to look at yourself, not them. They're not a cause. They're a reflector for you going, do I understand this concept in myself as a truth, or is it a belief? I mean, I truly believe it, but is it ready to be transcended yet? What else is there in this game except transcendence, recognition? Are we really concerned when the aliens are going to get here? Are we really concerned about free energy? Are we really concerned about the elections? Has anyone ever bothered to look at history with all these absolute vast access to knowledge and history? Have you not seen pattern after pattern of fear and this reality, recycling it, just changing the definitions, but the relationship is always the same? The vibrational tactician feels the relationship through the truth of itself, not harnessing the ego to have its reality dictated by that truth that sways you. It's all there. But it comes down to this. What are you willing? Are you willing to keep continuing the same song and dance, the same algorithm, the same vibration, receiving the same contextualized interpretations of emotion, and landing squarely in the polarity field between good and bad, and then you die? You have a choice because you're in here. This is an attraction. You called this forth to say, I can change something about me. I'm not a fucking idea of something to be higher or purposeful. I'm an opportunity. That's it. But when does it become important to you to fall in love with yourself? When does it become important to you to do the work of transcending the what? Belief systems that you hold in your universe. This blue is belief, right? Let's just call it that. You're in the center of that. You created vibrationally around you. I drew this the other day in my class. Hang on. Right? This is you in all your friction. Anyone listen to Abraham? Downstream? Bashar, everything is flowing to you, but you resisted because your ego is saying this is a reaction, this is wrong, this is right, this is need, this is want. That's pushing against the alignment of attraction, staving off those things that you called forth to you for your ascension, but you're putting them on side because you're busy wondering who's going to be in Congress. Or what's this going to be? Or I feel sympathy or empathy for this group of people. Or I have a purpose and I need to save the world. Stop. You're creating that bubble. That's your truth. That's your world. And it's exclusive to yours. You. No one else's. Oh, you share it with people and they might commonality up with you and buddy up and make you feel good. But that is quickly lost because you're back home, left with yourself each and every night. There's only you home and you're the only one who has to live with you. That's the mastery of this game. Recognize it's all me, every single ounce, every vibration. I took this in. High guilt, high hope, high need, high desire, high obligation. Here's responsibility. Here's, I've got to be this. This is how I have to perform. I don't want to look bad. If I do this, it'll be wrong. All of these are vibrating and vibrating and vibrating, and they're giving you thousands and thousands of thoughts. You get up in the morning and those thoughts come in. What am I going to do? What do I have to do? Over and over and over again. And you have to recognize from you in your own kingdom, nobody else home. You have to say, that's my guilt that I created for me because I'm a master. I get to experience guilt because I can't get it in the unconditional. Okay, that's my obligation. I'm going to be responsible and have the ability to respond by recognizing that motherfucker and accept it. And I'm going to have it as a belief. And I know it's going to be swayed and it's going to hurt to let go of it. And I'm going to piss people off. And they're going to be mad at me because I'm going to disappoint. And then I have to feel guilty. I just spit like a motherfucker. Then I have to feel guilty about disappointing them. And then I have to feel that way. But I have courage and I have trust that I know I'm a creator and I know I came here to separate myself and be not God, and I got it. Now that I'm done with being not God, how about remembering? How about enlightening the species through representation? How about ascending a species out of its own darkness with the internal love of yourself lighting the way? I bet you can do it. I bet your fucking sweet ass you can do it. But it takes courage, it takes gumption, and it takes the reverence of I am to do it. It's work, not easy work. It's not. It's hard. There's always the right way, and the right way is the hardest way of all. And I'm not talking about humanity's bullshit right and wrong. They're fucking laws. The right way of I am, my right. My right is my existence, my chosen to exist. All of that was depleted and reinforced by society saying I'm less than, by angry gods out there with their big dicks slapping everyone in the forehead, say, I'm the God, you have to worship me in the unconditional love, but you, a subject of my conditionings, have to do this. I'm not buying, because that was a belief, and I knew it, because the righteousness in me said bullshit. Mine. I accepted my belief system, my own cadence, and I went to fucking work. It's not about this. It's not about this. It's not about the external tangible. It's not. It's about every day getting nasty with yourself and going to work and being brutally honest and recognizing your own self. And it's always me doing it to me, for me, by me, all the time. All the time. Did I understand that at the beginning? Fuck no. You create your own reality? Nuh-uh. I didn't understand that. I have no clue about that. But I persevered and I did the work and I laid it all out on this channel and it's all in there. And you have the choice to work. To change your life literally, not change it in positive and negative outcomes, not effort of achievements to change your life. Those aren't changes. Those are decorations reflected off the same vibration of not God. It might be yummy and successful. I don't care about that, what it is emotionally. I have no interest in swaying myself to the puppeteers of emotion. Bullshit. I want to know what it is to be isness, unconditional consistency of I am without a sway, without a notion of another self. The only one home is me, and I'm going to get rid of all these selves that are telling me I'm not me. My work. Belief and knowing. A knowing is something transcended. I had so many debates, guys, about the transition of Roxanne, from Roy to Roxanne. There were so many debates and things like that, but there was always a sturdiness inside of me. It says, well, it's not whether you're male or female, Roxanne. It's not that in the physical idea. That's just the tapestry of humanity. Clausing itself to define realities of certainty for their own comfort. What it is, Roxanne, is what do you feel like? And I said, I feel like a woman more than a man. I feel feminine more than masculine. Okay, well then represent that. And I did. And this is the way I represent it. There's a knowing about that now. There was debate. I worked at it. I followed the calling of the internal awareness. How do I know if I'm wrong? I never will know, and nobody can tell me. Nobody can come into my universe and tell me my truth unless I accept it. And I accepted so many other people's truths. Motherfuckers, wasn't it great? We were full of all this diarrhea, of all these things. But that's the joy of this. That's the playground. That's the amusement park of humanity. But then I woke up and got mature. I grew the fuck up, left the playground, and started growing into myself. And so my vibration is both, obviously. I love being the expression of a female, but I have male expressions too. It's not that I demand both sides. Well, what are you today? Let's put me in a box so I know how comfortable I am, or someone needs to put you in a box. Fuck the box. There's no finites. Does not the universe itself, creation, nature itself, define to humanity every day it is impossible to finite creation? We are blowing up ourselves every fucking year with new expansions, new awarenesses. And we're trying to manage these things because people need their selves fulfilled through the acceptance of the externalism. If you had knowings about yourself, what's there to argue about? If you knew yourself, what's there to defend? What do you need to get other people to change? Why do I need to change someone else? Because they're thinking a certain way? Let them. You got to work on that belief and allow others to express themselves because they are the unconditional. And if you're seeing them with conditions, you're working on yourself, moving that belief into a knowing and I am. Make sense? Hi, Vicky. Hi, baby. You're welcome, baby. So you see what I'm saying? I have a genuine co-creation. Okay, this was a knowing, a belief that turned into a knowing. I have a reverence for you guys getting this. I used to have a desperation about it. I really wanted you to see the beauty it is. I really didn't want you to come in because it sucks inside of here in your own kingdom. But you can do it because I did it and I sucked at everything in humanity. And if I can do it, I know anyone can do it. Because if it shows up in your life, then you don't put something that's not a vibrational match in front of you. So I realized that everyone in my reality, I genuinely wanted to get them to understand this. But I couldn't preach to them and I couldn't teach them in the way of need. I have a reverence for myself of offering this and becoming the best idea I can offer and take all of these schools I've put together, all of these classes I've put together and hone these so they give a clear message to the layman so all can understand and we can ascend to species and turn this wonderful species into Homo galacticus and go to fourth density and whatever the fuck is next is irrelevant. But I know I can do it because I'm doing it. And I want you to be able to do it. Because you're worth it. Look, you're worth the distraction. But if you know it, if you know the ideas, you recognize the beliefs, you're done with that, then go to work on yourself. You know? Because it's worth it. Good, Lisa. Lisa says, I can't do it, Roxy. I have no energy left. I'm at the bottom. Perfect. Because when you have no energy left, you're at the bottom. That means you're recognizing how much you were fighting for it. Here's what I did. Listen up, Lisa. Listen. I surrendered. I had so many fears, so many things I had to do. But I didn't realize I didn't have to do it. I didn't have to handle. My reactionary self was always trying to control reality, effort, energy. And then I stopped and I let things play out. And guess what they did? Let go. Let the fuck go. Give it into it. Whatever someone's telling you to do, don't. You don't have the money to pay the bills, don't pay the fucking bill. Find out what happens. Find out attraction because it comes. But when it comes, Lisa, and it is the slipstream, and it is the only fucking thing that feels good in your life. Not emotionally. We're not talking about emotional happiness, temporary, that needs to be effort up in continuation. We're not talking about that, Lisa. We're talking about the slipstream, the miracle that says, oh my God, this is too good to be true. I think I'm going to fuck it up and argue for it and fight for my limitations. That's the ring that you got to be aware of. Because when it comes, it'll come again. Relax. But when it comes, question is, do you deserve it? I let go. Everything in my life keeps working out. And all of the fears that I had about my life were just bullshit ringing around in here. The actual physical reality, nothing ever played out like this. I tested law of attraction and I understand it. It works And all you have to do is allow. Allow the now. I have shirts made. Allow the now. Allow people what they are. Let them be what they are. Accept them for what they are. If they're toxic, your boss is toxic, you walk away and become a God and let reality show you the miracle of yourself. Because it isn't the universe bringing things to you, it's you. It's you attracting all of the consciousnesses you created. So, Lisa, you're in your little bubble going, I'm God. I need a reflection. Boop. I'm going to name this one Tom. Boop. Here's Dick. Boop. Here's Mary. Boop. Here's Agatha. And we're going to create all of these reflections of me. And they're going to give me my experience. And they're all going to give me my I ams. They're going to create trees and planets and space and hot and cold. And I'm going to spin this in my vortex and I'm going to become alive in myself. That's what you're doing. Let go and let it happen. And you'll recognize all the fucking diarrhea that's selling you. That's selling you the pleasure and selling you the pain, selling you the need and selling you the want, selling you the desire and everything that's not now. I get it. And it's hard. So since you're at the bottom, give the fuck up. Even better, give in. Give in. Oh, give the fuck in. Let the fuck out. It's easy. It's scary, but the choice is easy. I was homeless 8 months ago because of my beliefs. Now my knowing, very good. But I kept the faith and now I have a great job. And because I'm happy to surrender, there you go. Guys, this is good shit. It works. I'm never going to prove it to you. There's no proof of this. You don't need a goddamn testimonies. You don't need someone to give it. You have to choose within the kingdom. I attracted this reality. No one's here fucking me up. No evil out there persuading me. That's all the puppeteers of lack. I know I attracted my own worth. So I know this works as a potential. That's what you can say to yourself. Because I represent that. But I'll never prove it to you. Because then I become a preacher. Don't give, give in. Right, very good. I didn't see that. Yes, Sally, it takes courage. Yes, Lisa, give in. Yes. Okay? Each one of you represents change, not the change of laws and votes. That's keeping lack alive. That's feeding the polarity. The worthiness birthed from the eternal unconditional, spreading its glory upon the idea of the conditioning. And the conditions don't like you because you're change. That means loss of identity. That means they don't understand what's going to happen to them because there's no certainties. How many of you work this and they're asking 1,000 questions? Why? What about this? And what about this? And what about this? I need to have everything in place before I move. No. No, you don't. You're an eternal being. You're not afraid of yourself. And by the way, all of that out there is yourself. All of it. The whole goddamn bubble. Every fucking ounce of creation is yourself. You have this. Work on the beliefs. Transcend them into knowings. Surrender. Accept them. Let them live inside of you a day, 2 days. Behave that way if you need to. Feel the guilt. Feel the anger. Rage if you must. Do whatever to get to know it. Because when it becomes a knowing, it becomes a part of you as the truth of you, the experiential truth of you, not the behavioral truth. You're not a child getting, you're not that, you're a God. Yes, a God. Okay. You're welcome, Linda. I love you too. I love you too. All right, everyone. I'm going to skip along Fandango. Thanks all for tuning in. You know how to get a hold of me. HowToSaveAscension.com is the website. There's the link. I have an email if you want to contact me. What else? Oh, donate if you like. I have, real quick on the classes, I'm too far in to take any new students right now because we're in the middle of vibration tacticians, and there's 2 months worth of previous classes. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to start the next class sometime in January. I'll put it on the website, and we'll do the recognition school, transcendent school, tactician school, persona development school. Those are the 4 schools that I've come up with. So they'll be starting back up if you guys want to choose. Right now, there's just too much work to do. It would take you too long to do it. You really got to dig into this. You got to dig into this. You really got to be vigilant for yourself and worthy of your own discipleship to ascend the enlightened being that you are. Okay? I love you guys. Go rock your reality. We'll see you all in the next now. Take care.